Okay, I'd like to share with you my unboxing and build of the F16 from Freewing. It's the 64mm version, 65mm version, can't remember. As you can see here, it's packed very nicely in an outer box. I'm not going into too much detail, just more the security it comes in, but very happy with this. I only ordered it 4 days ago and it's arrived already. FedEx who's done this, and obviously Motion RC, so very good. Just through the New Year period, I ordered it on the 30th, I think it was, and it's arrived today on the 4th, so 6 days, sorry. So we have typical packaging from Freewing, good strong outer box and an inner box which contains the model. Again, typical from Freewing. It's a cardboard box upper, and as you can see underneath is the foam inner, which contains the model and holds it all together. Okay, very nicely packed and protected. I'm not sure what these bits are. We'll find out. Looks like some kind of hinge, maybe, not sure. You've got the top strengthening part, manual obviously, but very well packed and looking good. Take some damaging in transport. It'd have to be something heavy on it to squash it, so that's typical to Freewing. Excellent packaging. Okay, with any model that you buy and comes packed like this, always triple check the box. You can see here, could just be some padding, but it's not. There's components underneath. It's always wise to check and double check, just to ensure that we've got everything out. Everything there. But yeah, so everything is now out of the box. Let's do a component check. As you can see, everything's individually wrapped in plastic, also plastic bags, so it was all really well and truly protected, so the parts can't rub together in transport and get damaged. Okay, so let's have a look at the part count. As you can see, we have the fuselage. As usual, everything is, it's the plug and play version, so everything's in there and ready to be connected, labelled and everything. What you'll see here is the instruction manual, and first time I've seen this from Freewing. Is an instruction manual for the ESC, so very nice that bit. Never found that I needed it, but if we do now, we have one. Okay, so what we have now as well is the wings. Go get 'em wire, as it's called in the manual. I quite like that. Always handy to keep as well, good for other projects. These are the missile rails, pack of glue, which I've always used and found good from Freewing. Some smaller ancillary bits, that's fits into the horizontal stabilizers to give it some strength. Goes along these lines here. But yeah, all very good quality. Finish is perfect, very good, very little, you can just see the air bubbles there where it's been produced. But yeah, very happy so far, looking good. Love the smoke canopy. I've noticed on some channels, YouTube channels, that people are complaining about the smoke canopy, and it would be nice to have a pilot, but I quite like the smoke canopy effect. So from my side, well done Freewing. Okay, let's make a start on the build. Okay, the first step will be to dry fit everything, so I started with the wings. What I've noticed is, it wasn't in some of the other videos I've watched, but mine has come with the edge painted here. You'll see on the wing halves you've got white foam to glue to, but really what you must do before you glue these is sand some of this paint off, just to help it key. Otherwise you're gluing to the surface of the paint rather than to the foam itself. So that's my next task, is to just take the paint off. Okay, you may just be able to see I've tried to sand the surface down, but the paint is so thick. I've not gone any further than what I have with the taking the paint off, because it's I may deform the shape of the fuselage and the wing may not fit as good. So I've taken some of the paint off and I've scored the painted surface. That's both for the wings and horizontal stabilizers. Okay, the same again with the stabilizers, the horizontal stabilizers. Got a good area of white foam on the stabilizer itself, but not very much on the surface here. So again, make sure that you take the paintwork off on this area. For the vertical stabilizer, we actually are alright. We've got plenty of foam in the bottom half, and there's plenty of foam on the bottom half. I'll just score that with a knife, which I'll show you as I do the step. Okay, I'm not sure if it's what you need to do with the foam tack. Usually just white foam to white foam, and using white foam tack contact adhesive is enough, but I've actually scored the surfaces. I don't know, see if I can get the light for this. You can see the little crosses. There we are. You can see the little crosses I put in along the surface. It's personal preference, just belt and braces to make sure the glue sticks the component on. I'm going to leave it all glued together because it'll be a model that I can store constructed. Also on the wings, I've just used a nail file and just scored up the carbon tube, again just to help it glue and stick into the tube in the fuselage. Okay, as always with contact glue, glue the surfaces in, don't put too much on or else you get over glue like that. But put it in 2 or 3 times to get a good spread of the glue. Wait about 30 seconds and then once with the components apart, and then put the components back together again. Okay, one thing I like to keep as I'm building a model next to me is this wet wipe. Any brand will do. I've never come across one that damages anything foam wise or the paintwork on the model. But what I would say the advantage of these is that any surplus glue that you get when you, let's say here, squeeze the wing together, you can just rub this along and it takes the glue out. It's literally a gentle rub, because obviously what's in here, you don't want it going into the joint and destroying the glue. And also, as with the foam to foam tack glues, you always get the long stringy components of the glue or pieces of glue everywhere. It's great for removing those off the fuselage or component. Also helps keep your fingers clean. Every time I've done a bit of gluing, I just rub my fingers on the wet wipe and the glue's gone. Okay, 30 minutes has passed now since I glued the wings on. Do pay attention to putting them on the right way up, not the wrong way. And you can do this, the components are not sided, so clearly you want the horn down on the underside. And this will be the same now on the elevator halves. When you come to put the elevator halves in, ensure you're not putting them on to the wrong half, otherwise you'll be having problems to connect to the servo. Okay, the horizontal stabilizers have now been glued. Once again, I've had about 30 minutes now. I glued the halves on with adhesive on them, and then on the carbon spars I put the glue to the carbon spar, had it at an angle coming upwards, and then slowly put the carbon spar in. Once it was in place, I just slid the half out, in, out, left it for about 30 seconds and pushed it back in again, just to make the contact glue work efficiently. So that's the stabilizer halves completed. Okay, we are now more or less completed on the build. I've left the vertical stabilizer till last, which is here, so that it can be easily built on the box top. What my intentions are now is to turn it over and do the vertical stabilizer, but as you can see I've fitted these, because as it stands at the moment you can see it's quite wobbly, but when we turn this over it will now be quite stable, ready for fitting the horizontal the vertical stabilizer. Okay, I've used the go-get-em wire, as Freewing call it. I've fed it in from the back end through and pull. It's taken me 2 goes. The first time round it got a little bit stuck somewhere, so rather than forcing and wiggling, I pulled it back and started again. I don't want to damage any other wires in there. As you can see, the whole wiring loom from the back goes forwards and is coming out in here, so there's things in there that you could damage, so I didn't want to force it. I've not forced it, and it went through second time. Okay, as you can see, I've put just glue into the fuselage part. I haven't put any on the tail. I'm going to on the vertical stabilizer, sorry. What I'll do is just stick it in and pull it out, but I've also ensured that I'm getting around the edges as well. So what we will do here, sorry if the camera is not on, so I want to ensure it's fitting into the hole. So I'll have to put the foam down just to finish this off, but I just want to make sure it's all the way home, pull it out, let some air get to it and push it back in again. Okay, I pushed in, made sure it's all the way home, pulled it out a couple of times, put back in, and it's starting to get stringy and tacky now, so I'm happy that it's made contact, and that's it for now. We'll leave that another 15-20 minutes or so to set, and we can start to do the electronics. Okay, we now install my receiver using double-sided Velcro. So I've stuck to the receiver, then stuck to the fuselage, and the receiver now is fully removable. I've stuck one aerial here going forwards. I've used glass tape to do this, and now this aerial here to keep the 90-degree separation. I'll just push up under here and here, and likewise under. Perfect, so they're out of the way of any moving components, and I've got the 90-degree angle as you should always have with your receiver aerial. Okay, I've just now got my S-bus lead running forwards. It is a Y lead, so I can run 2 telemetry units. One will be for speed, one will be for the voltage, wattage and ampage use. So that's in there now, and simple to plug in, not having to remove the receiver or anything. I'll just put another piece of tape on to keep it down. I've just done it as it is out of the box. I've not split the ailerons or elevators. They were in on a Y lead, so but I've kept those as they are, so it's Y leaded for the 2 elevator servos and Y leaded for the 2 aileron servos. Little birds like this don't normally need any kind of flaps or anything to slow it down. It's just to bring them in under a little bit of power and allow them to touch down. Okay, because I'm intending on just flying this model with out the retracts and doing a belly land. I feel the intake is a little bit vulnerable, so I'm going to use some glass cloth tape around here to protect this, so it upon landings we're not going to do any damage. I think structurally it'll not come away from the fuselage, but this quadrant here, or this half here, feels a bit vulnerable. As I say, I'm not using retracts, so I'll run also a piece of glass tape down to about here, just to again protect this area. I'll also do the same on the nose area here to protect this front of the fuselage. Okay, as you can see now, I've put some glass cloth tape across the front. I put slots into this, and what I'll do now is just bend this underneath a little bit. Okay, sorry I had to stop that, but if you remember the cuts we're in, I was struggling to just fold it over one piece at a time. I wanted it nice and neat, which that's turned out quite nice and neat, and with it being the glass tape is now giving some protection to this area. I may just put a piece across there, I'm not sure, but next step is the piece here. Okay, as you can see now, I've completed the taping. I've got over the intake area and over the nose. These are the parts that are going to hit the ground on the belly landing. So I feel good that it's given the protection on here. Everything's wrapped around and inside. This tape's absolutely brilliant, the glass cloth tape. It adds to the strength, but also super sticky. May not look the best, but when it's right side up, you won't even know it's there. Okay, that's the build complete. I've done all the electronic setup as well, so now we've got Futaba receiver in, 8 channels, sorry, with telemetry enabled. I use bullet connectors on mine, so I've gone from the XT60 to bullets on that lead. Eventually I'll change bullets to that just to shorten it all out, but at the moment I'll leave it. Set it up as per the book with the battery in that position, which is, if I can show, just on that step there with the foam, and it balances perfectly inverted. With it being a model like this, I always do my CG inverted, but it's dead on the 81mm, so should fly okay. Movements are as per the manual. So, and if we just put the canopy on with that battery in, which is a 4-cell 2200, it all fits in lovely. And there we are, complete and ready to go. Unfortunately, in the UK at the moment we have high winds and very cold temperatures of around about -7 or 8 in wind chill, so I'll wait for a better weather day, but she's all ready to go. Okay, thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and see you when I do the maiden flight.